War on terror have changed. How?
Well, I think what has happened since I made Rendition is that the means of prosecuting this war have changed, and in particular drone warfare has become a sort of dominant choice. And in some ways it's just another weapon of war. And in other ways, this particular weapon of war evokes very strong feeling because of its ability to hover and look at people and therefore hang over communities as a very threatening presence, even when you can't see it. And one of the things that kind of breaks your heart is to hear from young children who live in zones that are constantly under the surveillance of drones, where they'll say, oh great, it's an overcast day like today because then the drones can't see us and so there probably won't be an attack today. So there's something about this weapon that is unsettling in ways that I think other weapons haven't been, and that's why it evokes such strong feelings and why I think it's worth discussing and understanding how it works. And in this film, I think the strength of Guy's script is that he really gives you insight into how drones are used, how the kill chain, which is the way decisions are made moving up and down the chain, is organized. So if you don't know how drone warfare is conducted, this is a movie to see, if only to give you that insight. At the same time, I really think it's also a great thriller that should keep you on the edge of your seat and leave you with a lot of questions and a lot to talk about.
Go ahead.
I hope that's good.
A great answer. I just wanted to ask you a question about, when I was watching the film, you said that it makes you feel a lot, but I felt really removed because of the way you guys shot it with the screens and everything. It was kind of almost like a POV, like gamer sort of way. Was that an intentional way, or is that just to showcase the technology?
No, I think you've raised a very good point. One of the things that is so strange as we move into this new era, which is just coming at us really fast, is that on the one hand we're really connected by technology, and on the other hand, we're disconnected from one another as a result of that technology. So it's a weird thing to have in your head. Wait a minute, I can actually be in communication with someone who's 10,000 miles away, just as we can on Facebook and all these things that we use. But am I really connected to them in a human way? And so there's this sense that, wait a minute, I'm watching war from a distance through a lens, and what's happening is 8,000 miles away, and yet it's really affecting me because the images you're showing me are shot in close-up. The result of that drone attack is then screened back to the pilots in ways that were never the case with an F-16. I was speaking to one of our consultants who was an F-16 pilot and then a drone pilot, so he knew both. And he said, Gavin, when I flew the F-16, I flew in, I dropped my payload, and I left. Now, as a drone pilot, even though I'm not in physical danger because I'm not there, it's sometimes harder to deal with because having dropped my payload, I'm then required to stay, examine the bodies, report on the casualties, look at what I've done. And in some ways I think that's good because you should take responsibility for what you've done, but it's a whole new way of waging war and it's very unsettling.